one very, very important thing that we've spoken about many times is the old Rockaway Beach line of the railroad, okay? I know Howard, when he was sitting as a 31st councilman administrator, when he became temporary councilman, he supported our railroad. Then he said when he went back to Forest Hills, he couldn't answer me. So I hate to put you on the spot, but what we're looking for, and I think everyone agrees, we said before we'd make an endorsement of any candidates, we wanted to know that we were going to get the support for the old Rockaway Beach line of the railroad. I know it's a hard one, but it's a no-brainer. I wish Phil was standing here. Phil would tell you it's a I mean, not Phil McManus, but about Phil Goldfeder. It's a no-brainer that now is the time. We need it more than ever. 30 minutes, 32 minutes from here to Penn Station, through Queens, linking up all 5 boroughs, rapid transit, 1 seat, 1 ride. How do you feel about that?
Well, as strong as this neighborhood feels about it, there's other neighborhoods that feel as strongly in the opposite, right? So I'm not going to give you a yes or a no tonight, which I know is not the right answer. But Lou, let's do this. Can we sit down and have a follow-up so I can understand more about it? And then I'm going to have a follow-up with the people who are against it so I can understand a little more where they're at, and then I'll get back to you with an answer. If that's fair, just give me a little time to do a little more due diligence, and then I'll come back with an answer.
How long? How do we
I don't know, 2 weeks? 3 weeks, is that right? Okay.
How do we get you our input as to what your due diligence?
If you see, Howard, who's behind you, will give you his card, and then if you give it to him, he'll get it to me, or give it to Lou, he'll give it to Howard, and we'll get it that way, okay?
What I do want to say, in all fairness, okay, we need this to be moved fast.
I hear you.
I would like this to be before the petition process starts.
Absolutely.
Because petitions, I think, come out the first week in June.
Yes.
Yes, Mary? And I also want to ask point of privilege, okay, another thing, and the last question, and we could all talk. We know we have a Republican council member. There will be a Democrat running on that ticket. We know that
this year, I hope.
Yes. We know you're the speaker. Will the speaker step aside, and this is a hard question, I know it's 2 hats. Can you step aside and campaign with the Democratic candidate?
Yes.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now we're going to take some questions.
So let me just say let me say a couple things. One, you're absolutely right about the MTA not listening to the voice of New Yorkers. And I'm sorry that meeting happened that way, and I'm really sorry you had to schlep all the way into Manhattan to have such what sounds like a pointless meeting and to waste your time. And it was a lot of your time because you had to go all the way into Manhattan. So I'm sorry about that. And the MTA doesn't really have any real way where the voice of New York City residents are heard. That's part of the reason why I want to get legislation passed in Albany that would give the mayor the direct authority to appoint the head of the New York City Transit Authority, and the mayor to appoint the majority of the members of the MTA, and to give the rider member a vote on the board. That way, I'm not saying all your frustration's going to go away, but at least New York City and the vast, 90% of the uses of the whole system are people who are using bridges, tolls, buses, and subways. We are the engine of the system, and so to speak, we have the voice of a piston. We have to change that. 2, I don't think bus riders' voices have historically been appreciated enough by the MTA. And that worries me because there's neighborhoods where buses are the whole thing. 2, I know from my dad, who's 86, he really uses the bus much more. It's a better mode of transportation for a lot of seniors for obvious reasons. 3, buses are really a very smart way for us to be thinking in the future because they're less expensive than the subways. So I share your frustration that the buses aren't heard, and I hear your input on the line in this area, which I will definitely keep with me in my decision-making process. I'd like to say, if we could, follow up with you if you'd give your information to Howard, and we will reach out tomorrow or Monday, once we get all the information, to the Transit Authority directly on the bus issues and schedule a follow-up meeting on that as well, so we could get, at least minimally, get the questions answered and push things forward. Okay?
The Bus Department is planning through the boardwalk plan.
So has the Parks Department, I think I know the answer to this question, but I just want to ask it anyway. Has there been any meetings with the community board or community groups or anything like this?
Wait, hold on one second.
Ignore, okay, okay.
Let me just explain what's going on here. We've been having meetings and meetings and meetings.
To no avail.
Right.
Okay.
You could talk to the wall. We have never yet met the new park commissioner, whoever she is. Okay, don't know her. Dorothy Lewandowski twists her face. Liam Kavanaugh has it in because he won't give us our lifeguards in the evening till 8 o'clock that we've been asking for years. So Liam twists his face. Jill Weber is a lovely lady. Her hands are tied. So we get no answers. We were taken out now on a Saturday, asked for our opinions. Oh, we're going to have a meeting. We're going to get back to you. No meetings, no nothing. It's a waste.
I will call Commissioner White tomorrow and ask her to come out here personally to follow up and do a meeting. And then we'll also send a letter outlining, we'll get it from you guys, the specific points you've raised that haven't been addressed or have been ignored, and then follow up, okay? Thank you.
All right.
No, we had a recently, Howard was on it, we had a meeting, it was through a conference call because I was on the road, but about these very issues. And this meeting tonight, I have to say, is very helpful because we're in the process at the council of kind of making, and Lou, we were going to ask you for input, an itemized list of all the outstanding Rockaway Beach reconstruction issues. So, no, I saw it when I got out of the car. I mean, it looked like, yeah, there is no end of the road. You know what I mean? There's no end of the road. So those are exactly the issues. Right. So what we're going to do is ask for, Commissioner White to come out, and we'll all do a walk around together.
Good luck.
Okay? But we're going to have to try to do it soon, obviously, before they, move forward.
Wait a minute, hold on. Could I, one second. Shh. Hold on, time out. I just want to say, please, I know usually when they say a walk, they don't count the district leader. I don't mean, I'm not aiming at you, no. They seem to forget me. I want to be included because I think I speak for everyone here. Okay?
Absolutely.
Because what happens is they're done, they take people, they take a photo, and nothing gets done.
Right. Sand, I think there's kind of a couple questions. One that goes back to your question, ma'am, about why are we bringing all this sand in when we don't actually have protection, so to speak, in place to keep the sand in place. That's one part of the question that has to be addressed and followed up on. Two, the second part is about the health concerns that just are significant in this part of the city, right? And that's true in other neighborhoods too, which is part of the reason why I've been an enormous advocate and supporter of and want to expand health services within our schools, right? We have real potential to have health services delivered in schools. I was recently visiting a school in Cincinnati where a high percent of the children in this school were lower income and they were in public health insurance. Like an eyeglass company, it wasn't Foster Grant, but something like that, opened a eyeglass clinic in the school because they knew that free of charge to the students, but because of the public insurance, they could make money making sure all the children and then their parents, when they picked them up, had eye exams and eyeglasses. We could be that creative in addition to partnering with health facilities to provide services, health services in schools. We have to think of schools much more as the heart and soul of our community and spaces we keep open longer and do more than just teaching. Not that teaching isn't a lot, but if you're not feeling well, even if you're the brightest student in the world, you're not going to learn. On co-locations, you kind of had closings and co-locations in there. If a school has failed and we've tried to save it, right, and it's just failing, then it's going to have to be closed. Now that's a tragedy. No, let me get to that, right. And that's a tragedy when that happens. The problem is our policy has become closing schools almost as the educational goal. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to saying, look, this one we tried. What I want to do is put in an early warning system. We're 3 or 4 years out when we see attendance going down, disciplinary incidents going up, teacher retention, teacher attendance going down. Scores, because God knows we have test scores, going down, we intervene in those schools with additional services, with additional staff. We spend $20 million a year closing schools. Let's spend part of that money trying to save schools, and we will see the number of schools that have to close shrink significantly. So those are some of the issues there. I just want to say, so I have a little homework. I'm going to leave tonight, follow up with your information on the rail line, talk to the others, report back in 2-3 weeks at the most, he gave me over here. 2, we're going to follow up with the gentleman over there and Lou and whomever else about the bus issue. Reach out to New York City Transit tomorrow, send them a letter, and also get a follow-up meeting or conference call, however you want to do it, if that's easier. 3, we're going to call Veronica White tomorrow. Tell her she has to come out here with me and meet with everybody and walk around. The Wave can take a picture, but it's not going to be a press-a-thon. Sit down and really talk about the issues, and you're going to send me the open issues, and we're going to send her a letter in preparation for that. And one of the issues on that agenda is, why is the Army Corps sending us all this sand and we're not having any barriers or anything in place? And part of the discussion with her is obviously going to be about the boardwalk and the ever-escalating price of the lifeguard center and the other issues. So I think I got everything, and we're going to follow up over the next week to 3. Thank you, guys.
Give the council speaker a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you.